Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome back to another Scripture Art Journal week. This week, our scripture comes from Matthew chapter 5 and verse 14. And it says, "Ye are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hid." And I really was going to do, I know you probably thought that I was going to do a hill with a city on it. And I totally was going to do it. But then I started kind of doing some looking on the internet and just kind of looking around and seeing what other people had done with like digital images. And I found this light bulb and I thought, oh, I want to do a light bulb. And at first I was going to do it out of vellum. And then I decided no, because I saw this image where someone had taken the light bulb and turned it into like a globe. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and it's totally taken off the internet. I just went out there and got some inspiration, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I printed out, I actually copied this image template, and then I printed it onto my paper, and then I cut it out into two pieces. So I cut the globe part and then the little silver part down here. So I did that already so you guys wouldn't have to wait on me to do it. And I also cut out the paper I'm going to use for it. Let me show you that. This is the base. It's silver. It's silver shiny metallic paper. And look, this is the top. It's globe paper. How cute is that? I think this is going to look super neat. Now, before I can put this together, I want this to have the wrinkles in it, like the little crinkly lines that the actual bulbs have. So I'm going to use my Marvy. What is this thing called? It's like a paper cincher. What does this do? Crinkle paper is what we're going to call it. A paper crinkler. And you just stick your paper in there and then run it through. And when it comes out the bottom, it'll be all wrinkly. See? I love it. And it's got some texture. I thought that would look cute for the bulb. So we're going to use that. And then I found this paper that I'm going to put behind it. So see how pretty this paper is? It actually came from the same paper pad. This is from the Traveler set. Isn't that pretty? But I want my globe to kind of, I don't know if I want it to glow out as much as I want it to have something behind it that's not so solid. So I was thinking about maybe doing some inking behind it or either cutting another piece, but I really kind of want to ink behind it, but I'm not sure how to do it. So I'm going to do a little test and I'll get right back with you. Alright, so I tested this out and it's going to work. So a little while back, I bought some of the little mini distress inks. This is scattered straw, and I want to show you what my plan is. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I want to make sure I have room for it here because it's going to go about right there. But I want to create these rays coming out of here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a pencil and trace this, a solid image all the way around, and I'll show you why. I think it's going to look cool. Alright, so I've traced the light bulb. I bet that is hard for you to see, but I have traced it. Now I want to show you what I'm going to do. Using this little mini ink pad, I'm going to take the edge of the ink pad, okay, which is very uneven, okay, and I'm going to place it to the edge of the light bulb I drew, and I'm going to barely drag it out, and you'll see what happens. Do you see this? Let me bring it up for you. You see what that does? It kind of makes like a glow. It will anyway when we get done. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Just barely drag it out like rays. I did a little test on a separate piece of paper just to see if this was actually going to work. And when it did, I was kind of surprised. I got to be honest. This is what I wanted to do, but I was shocked that it actually worked. So I'm going to keep doing that. That's what you have to do with your supplies. You just have to test them and see. I mean, you know, you may not see people using it this way, but what difference does it make? They're your supplies and you pay for them. So use them like you want to. And to be honest, you don't have to stay on that line either. Because if it goes under the bulb, that's a good thing. You want the rays to come out from behind the bulb. You just want to make sure that everywhere the bulb goes, you'll get the rays. See that? That looks cool, huh? Down here I need to do this again. And if you want longer rays, maybe come back in. I think I'm going to do a few longer rays too, just to kind of, just keep them in the same direction. You know, all going out from the bulb. What's behind the bulb is not going to show. Alright, so there is that. Super cool. Alright, I'm going to use some sticky tape because... Oh, I was thinking about putting it up on dimension, but that's not going to work in my album. I'm going to use sticky tape only because my art glitter glue is not in here with me right now. I was using it to pack stamp sets for mailing. You know what's happened? I've had to buy new envelopes for my stamp sets that I sell, and the ink is, the glue is horrible, so I'm having to reinforce it. So we're hoping to find some much better envelopes. So I'm just going to stick this down like this. This will work just fine. It just takes longer. Alright, so I'm going to pull the protective backer off of all of these and stick it down. Alright, so now I'm going to stick this guy inside. Got to be real careful to line him up right. Inside of the line we drew. Oh, I really like how that looks, y'all. I think that is so cool. I love that so far. Alright, so now let's put the little silver piece down because I did tear it as well. I did go ahead and put the adhesive on it. You know, I totally had a different idea for this scripture. And it's fun to sometimes just kind of do some research and find something different. And I love this scripture because we are a light in the world. You know, there's so much negativity out there now. And if you become a part of that negativity, it latches on to you. And you don't need it. You don't need it, and nobody else needs it. Let's be honest. Nobody needs all that. So try to find something positive. Try to be a positive influence every day. We're not done. Now I'm just talking, but I want to put the verse, I'm thinking about putting it right inside of here. I don't know. I love this globe so much. I kind of don't want to put it there. I kind of want to put it out here. But I do want to give this a tiny bit of dimension because I feel like this glow makes the bulb three-dimensional. But this is kind of flat. So I'm going to do that real quick too. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a Spectrum Noir marker and just go around it. I'm not going to blend it out because I want the rays to stick out. I'm just going to trace it with this Spectrum Noir just to give it a little bit of dimension. This will kind of give the feel of it popping off the paper. You want to take your time when you do this because you don't want to slip. As soon as I say that, I will. But this will just help that to kind of be as dimensional as the top is too, so it'll feel like it's popping off. You know, anytime you're working in your journal and you're working flat like this, anytime you can trace something or outline something, it helps to make it look more like it pops. I'll show you up close. See how that line just kind of helps? Just a little bit. I love it. All right, I want the scripture here, I think. I don't know. I want it here. Okay, let me decide. So I have this piece of paper that's just from a project I was working on earlier, and I'm going to lay it down inside of my trimmer, but I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to tear it. So I'm just going to lift this up and just kind of tear toward me like that. And then I'm going to turn it again. And this way, see, I can line it up using my trimmer to make sure I'm getting a good square. And I'm going to tear this again, just like this. And I want to make sure it'll fit in my globe. Let me do this and see how much I need. That's working good. Alright, so now I'm going to lay it into one of the other lines to give myself a pretty straight tear. Oops, got to come out past that though. See how I'm coming out on this side to use for a tear guide? I think that'll work real good. So, pick this up. When you do this, you got to hold that blade housing down. You got to make sure it doesn't lift up on you. Alright, so let's see how long we want it to be. Not extremely. And this will be what I can use to write my scripture on. About like that. Good deal. Let's see how that looks in there. That looks good. I like it. And I like that edge on it. What I might do is ink it with that same ink I used for the rays. So maybe that torn edge will show up even better. Alright, so I'm going to use this for my scripture, and I'm going to use that same Spectrum Noir marker to write it. And I'm writing the King James Version this time. So I'm going to write, ye are the light. I keep looking because I don't want to mess up. Of, this is what helps me learn it. The world. And then it's period. And then it is a city on a hill cannot be hid. And this is Matthew 5:14. Again, I always check, even though I know. I'm a checker and double checker. 5:14. Okay. And now I can put this down on top of the globe like so. I love it. I think it looks cool. Now you guys have already started putting your beautiful creations up on our Facebook page. I've lost my little craft pick. Oh, I put it up. That's unusual. Okay. But you guys have already started putting your creations up and they look beautiful, and I'm so inspired by you guys. So thank you so much. And if this is your first time here for our scripture art journaling, we do this every week for the whole year. This is week 37, and we've been learning 52 scriptures. That's our plan, is to learn 52 scriptures together through art journaling. And this is my page. Oh, let's put it in the journal. I don't want to forget that. So here's my journal. And I'll just flip for a second. I'll just kind of go through each page. Not each page, just kind of flip so you can see some of them. There we go. And this one goes right on this side. I love it. That's where it'll go. I'm going to glue that in, and I won't make you guys watch, but that's where that will go. And that's it, guys. I love this one. I can't wait to see what the rest of you do. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.